Nazca lines. For a long time ago to now, when air travel, which is from the airlines or airplane travel all across from every country, become famous or popular in all over the world. Starting from these, people usually want to pass the road, pass the river, everything across the ice with an airplane, with the normal high price of the airplane flying tickets. Usually, they want to travel around the world, which is all Europe, America. Yes, a lot of new big cities or countries like London or Berlin or New York, Washington D.C. Everything which is responsible now, just tickets of airplane which is really take fast or need the legs of being laid down in the beach or the sunny shine of hot Africa. Everything just can be high priced by the airplane for a little time, which is not too much expensive, but is from the first time, is expensive for expendable tickets of, where people is flying all across the countries. Besides these things, usually they're too far away, thus just can walk. And now airplane is really needed and responding heights critical. Never can have chance to come back home with just a way of walking downtown. No rules for this. And now, because there's too much things that can happen, like terrorists or some crazy things, like selling crazy like heroin or cocaine, which is not responsible to people with no rules on the airplane. But these things these things and cause big shows that there's a lot of criminals have been arrested. And does not be afraid that if this can stolen every heroin from there. People have always seen of the beautiful and amazing things, which is just going on this way, the Nazca lines. Yes, when you have an airplane, you can use to fly up the sky. When it's the ways of Nazca, you will usually have to fly down these. Yes, and it's usually have the amazing things if you look on the sky down. There's a lot of huge things, huge amazing face, like some things of face of people or face of animals. It's like some land which is the huge. When you look up a kite, it can be a new UFO or new type of unidentified flying object, which is just flying down. By the way, is not the truth. Of course, when you dive, when you're taking down the land, of course, you can't see that anymore. When you stand on these and you look up the sky, there's different waves that there are no type of these. It's just be like the things in the Africa, which is when you go on the Sahara Desert and you feel crazy things being headed with no details on these. What's wrong? If you just cross with some crazy animals to flying down the road, it so be successful. But as everyone thought, that's not usually the truth. How can it be really look like a where when you near beautiful really things which is not across the Africa desert? When you walk on the hot way and because the air is really hot out. So what is happening? That's not the real truth because when you fly with a helicopter, yes, and you take a picture of this, you can see these things. And when your airplane is low inside for about 1 kilometer high, you can see that too. But there's one thing that not can be understood. If you use a helicopter, you go on a height of 800 meters or 500 meters. You can't see that anymore. Just about 2 meters, then that disappear. Just in the height of 1,000 or just more than meters, and you can just see rarely of it. Just rarely, not every. But these make a new secret things of people. These can cause no damage, but there's amazing wars is open happen when you put something into the waste. It's not really the truth because the translated can be show up when you use the line down of this land. This can maybe a trees which have the maybe up like that, but it's not a trees. You see this one. Of course, in down there are no trees, then the trees is not responsible. You know, these huge things, as people guess, that is maybe the new UFO then. Yes, every people find that is maybe some things from outside, and is one nurse to cite the theory. For example, they want to have a code, a very scared science, and they want the Earth, the Earthian, to to have the results with that, and tell the what is this for? There's a lot of things happen with no details, and it feels very unresponsible. Actually, indeed, that's not really the truth. When in the height of 2 kilometers, we can't see that anymore. Just just 1 kilometers to 1.5. It's not responsible if you look down in 1 kilometers or more than 1.5 kilometers. Now, what happened with this? This could maybe the glass of the airplane in this way. No, of course, every airplane have that. And just in that, why in Nazca, not every another? Nazca is not like just a normal. Yes, so that's all of the reason, which is not can be the same as the knowledges of the government about the encounters with civilians and aliens outside. That can be the truth. But whatever people is thinking about, the way that they are looking at Rick is different than everyone thought at the end. Maybe that can be using as you are the rectangle of where like back Bermuda or something like that. But the way is so disgustable. Yes, that's unkind when you use just a big like civilian. No, because of the cheese down there, it's not there's no huge things. So that can be of course that's not by an airplane. Why? Because every airplane is from Boeing 777 to Boeing 747 and every Airbus A320 and all of the airplane usually have that. If the helicopter in this height is also have that. Why? Now, you can also, maybe the fighters, Little Pony, yes, it's have the waist like that. So of course that's not by airplane. Why every airplane have that? Maybe the glass of airplane is like this? No, the glass of airplane is normal. And just not in this. Why is normal and just in nice guys be have responding? No, the glass of the helicopter is different with the glass of the Boeing 777. Where is this the glass of civilization? The people look across the windows, look down. That's different. Yes, when some flights from another countries to Nazca, usually people may have an amazing face of this way huge. They choose things look like a human face, and some look like an animal's face, or some look like a big huge legs. Yes, not really the truth. It can just also like what people is looking across the sky. But the truth is, not every air return can readily have that. Just only in the right land and the right height expandable. That can also be shown in that way. It just can be like a bird, right? No, it's not. Why the bird can look like an animal and huge is on the land? The way that they are looking for is not what is unexplained. You also want to have to see the camera from where the airplane is looking down. The camera of the airplane, yes, it can see that. But where people can see that too. But there's one thing that is not unacceptable. It's maybe a code from the aliens or not in the earth that you usually and you have to find out more about the results of it. Maybe the aliens want to talk something to us in this Nazca. There's a lot of explained things in this way, Nazca. Yes, there's a lot of rumors about aliens living there or UFO up there. Because why? It's near the Area 51, a new chain of Area 51. Of course, the Area 51 is different, but this one is of another different thing. It's really like the Area 51, but maybe no one know about it. Just the people living there. Maybe yes, I'm using in about 10 minutes and 39 seconds, and there are 10. Yes, there are more than 9 minutes left. But this care about what is going on is I'm using for more than 260 megabytes, and there's 2,833 left in just the civilian is looking for. Now, it's not like every time looking up across the highland. There's the yet before, the eyes of some things. There's some side of shape look like an eyes. There's some side of shape look like nose. Of course, every shape in Nazca which can be shown in that way is usually is a part of our body and a part of the animal body. Some look like a tail, some look like an eyes, some look like our hair and our head, some look like my no not I don't know should repeat that, but some look like our dick or yes just dick. Some look like our hand, but that's not really untrue. Why this just can be shown in 1 kilometers? Maybe some type of secret thing stolen want to kidding with us? No, or maybe the airplane maker want to kidding with us? Just the company, which is from the Boeing 777, which is just doing in that airplane where they fly down the road. That's not only in the rectangle ways of using what is more than 100,000 kilometers from this way. But not really the truth. More than 100,000 kilometers is a long way. But you can't go out of the where it is called the Nazca ozone. But that's not really true. Why? Just in ozone way, you can also see the things can be founded. There's a lot of another which can be shown just throwing up the sky and where the people is looking for. Like when you play Katarina, you press W and there's a knife throwing up and push and falls down. With every situation of what is calling the Nazca. Not every Nazca can look like a where people is lovely, but not the truth is. Why the ultimate is strong and powerful, but it's not really have the ways to kicking on. Why it solely cause damage to where it's called change to another and cause no damage? Yes, where's the jungle with no damage at the ultimate? Now you have to see the real things. The real things that the combo is really crazy. And look at the ultimate. It's just you all of the flash guns to reflect all of these. Maybe it can hide lines. I can change the combo of these. Maybe it can E first to the enemy and W. No, maybe it can throw the knife first and rally E and W. No, it can't be like you should throw the knife first. It's not responding. And you use just the knives before when you used the one thing happened. Now just E W ultimate and then wait to when it's run you can chase by Q and E more. It can also cause a lot of damage because it's more than 300 megabytes. Its support is falling about 344 megabytes, and there's 2,740 straight hundreds of what is called 44 megabytes. So not really the truth that I'm talking as the ways of where Nazca Lines is looking for the Earth, but not every very unexpectable. The truth is that can't be hell if you use all of that, as you do not know anything about the way the people in Nazca talk about this. Maybe, and it can just explainable why people in there use the ways of transfer, or maybe they just can use ways called the what thing is maybe can cause damage to these, or not. It can be a high explainable where the people use the high modern extras when people want to use all of these, but not really the truth. If you see that so often, you have to, it seems not really be the truth as any ways of transfer. Not by the fan or the ceiling fan or everything which is just across the sky. You have to see everything across where the Nazca be held. Why there's two way that is so be have a lot of metal. It can be where our eyes is being charred, but it's not. The prank is different. Not every time people can see that because the height level and the look at the place is different. But just everyone want to see that and take a picture of this. But you know the real thing is that from the very important things that no one can take a picture of it. Why? The first is the airplane windows do not let us do that. The second, and if some people can do that and when they look at these pictures, no, there are no of it. That's kings of things like that. Really strange things happen from that to the end. Why it's going to happen again? Now have to look at the ways transferring being dead. It's not putting that Galahad or every suspectable. Whiskey is not a problem, and every doing suspect is being uncountable terrorist. Take a picture of this is not responsible. Why? Yes, and when of course this like normal, but when you open it again, it disappear. These strange things happen in the wake of that. You can also see where it is happening on, but not every truth is. Why this causes a lot of damage? Just use the way of where is more than useless. These ways can also very strong and very powerful, which you just see the things want to going on. But not everything can be the ways. It can also like a jungle. Every situation usually have the rectangle ways just to use the megabytes and everything be sustainable. But it's not as fast like you can see at where it is looking on. The second is of course faster than where you are using the megabytes or something like as the minutes. The second is the fastest in counted from these ways to up. But that's not everywhere. Everywhere that have Nazca shows that will be not unfamously. This can be unchanged when someone is seeing that, but it can't be unchanged when no one's seeing that. You have to see the real truth is that not the real things as people see in their eyes, which is the screen is falls down with all of the CPUs is different of the light. You just can see the window next to there, but all of these do not make problem of where the fan or where the Wi-Fi switches of this airplane is forcing down. When you make a video, yes, it disappear too. Yes, of course, only and expect it's not including the camera of the airplane, which is the most modern and really expectant of the camera. It's just can't see that it disappeared on the camera. Just eyes can see, but not every eyes can see. That some type of people can't see that. Why? Maybe like of wearing shoulders or wearing sunglasses or something like that. But that's not really the truth. You can also take that for all of the highland where the people is throwing us down and run across from the edges. But everything can be used of the air just to pick it all air we used to refuse down and use where people living on the ticking outside of where it is so exchange. Now, if you suspect and if you see what a new terrorist looking for, you can see. The way the Nazca Lines is being unexpectable and popular, famous in all over, which is soaring inside.